I love that I'm watching myself go live on my own phone.
We're live.
Is it live?
We're live.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Sievers. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So normally I do all pre-recorded videos with music and pop-up links and all these things. And I thought we'd try something a little different tonight. And I thought we would try going live. So if you are new to YouTube or are already subscribed to my channel, which thank you very much if you are. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please do so and make sure you hit the little notification bell as soon as, so that you're notified as soon as videos post. And what I love about live is that you can actually have real-time comments. So as I am going to go through my Pantry 101 with you, if you have questions, please write them down or type them in. Ryan is right behind the camera and he can interrupt me, and this is the only time I'm going to let him interrupt me. But he will be able to interrupt and ask your questions, and I can give you real-time answers. So I think this is going to be part of my YouTube channel going forward, these live kind of experiences. We're going to do some co-cooking together coming up. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And if you are tuned in, I appreciate you so much. So Pantry 101, I know I'm standing here with nothing on my island today, but I'm going to show you kind of my pantry. So we live in Chicago, right downtown, and we don't necessarily have a dedicated pantry space. So I've kind of created little secret cubbies all around that are all kind of themed. And I thought tonight I would show you how I've created my pantry and kind of what I have in it. I probably have a little bit more than the average person just because I write cookbooks and recipe test for a living. But, going through everything that has been happening around the globe, and especially, with such high focus now on the United States, I went through my own pantry and really kind of did a lot of thinking about what I have, why I have it, and then what few items I could add to it so that I could make all these other items that I have kind of more usable, more interchangeable. So that's what I'm going to show you tonight. So I'm going to give you a little overhead action, and I'm going to start with kind of my, I'm going to start with my pasta box. So behind this island, there are all of these great cubbies behind the island. And I keep a lot of pasta in here, but I don't keep odd things like squid ink pasta and pasta made out of spinach and all these other things. I keep things that I know how to cook, and I know that I can pair different sauces with, and it's things that are familiar to me. So what I love about this too is that everything is from just your average grocery store. So I want to take you through my pasta really quick. So I always have bucatini. I always have rice. I know it's not pasta, but this doesn't fit into the rice drawer. And then my other pastas I always have angel hair because this cooks in like 2 minutes, and for a really quick dinner, we can throw a little bit of butter, some lemon zest, and angel hair together, and you have a really gorgeous dinner, which you can make in minutes, and you can serve it now when we're kind of all in this, kind of mode of making sure that we preserve things. But also, I also serve that when I have company. And then I also have all these little pastas for soups. So especially if you are cooking for a large group, you can I always keep alphabets too. I think they're just really fun. And I love that you can just add these to a basic tomato soup recipe, or maybe just some vegetable broth and some sauteed vegetables, and you have a really beautiful soup. Of course, mac and cheese. I know everybody is going to make fun of me for still having mac and cheese, but it is my guilty pleasure, and I'm actually not even feel that guilty about eating it. And then I always keep packs of ramen noodles. I think ramen noodles are really important. I don't use the flavor packet, but I like the texture of the noodles themselves. again, I can put that with some delicious vegetable broth and some fresh lemons or limes and kind of make a little acidic broth, kind of like a quick version of a pho. I know it's not anywhere near the original, but I love it anyway. So this is kind of like the pasta. I don't want to bore you guys too much, but this is all also about organization. So again, I keep all of my pasta and this lonely bag of rice in one area. So Ryan, if we could maybe go back to the front-facing camera, I think that would be really helpful. And hi guys, here I am. So I keep all my pasta in one section, and then as most people, maybe you have a house, you live in a larger, maybe a larger apartment where you have more closet space, you have one dedicated area, like I said, for a pantry. I actually have built mine in the back of these bookcases. And I know you can see it through here. And I have all of these lovely baskets. You can use baskets, you can use plastic tubs, anything that you think is going to fit and maximize your storage. So for instance, I have one for like all kinds of crackers. So I know that this is where I store my crackers. I have this one. This one, I don't do a lot of canned goods, but I have like coconut milk in this one and different, my Better Than Bouillon favorite vegetable base for making vegetable broth. I always keep vegetarian Campbell's vegetable soup in here. My nan used to make this for me when I was a kid, and whenever I don't feel good, I still eat it, so whatever. Get little bouillon cubes, again, all vegetarian based, and then I have some boxes of stock. I keep boxes of stock because sometimes if I'm making pastas or things, I just need maybe like a half a cup or a few tablespoons of stock. And I like the box version with a lid because that helps me not have to make a lot of, like a whole cup at a time with the Better Than Bouillon, but I can just pour a few tablespoons or half a cup and then store it into the refrigerator. So my stocks I use a lot. And then I have things like, this is like these great, all of this like dried fruits and dehydrated fruits. If you guys have not seen these, dehydrated fruit, these are dehydrated raspberries, freeze-dried raspberries. I love them crushed over yogurt in the morning. I think it also adds a little pop of color, but it also tastes really good too. And then I just keep going. So here, this is my next one here. So things I have on hand that I have more so now than before. I have a few extra bags of split green peas because I'm going to make a really delicious split green pea soup this week coming up. And I will be posting all of these recipes. We'll get into that in a little while. I went to the store and got a big, beautiful container of green French lentils and lima beans. So when I was a kid, vegetarian vegetable soup used to have lima beans in it. And I hated them as a kid, and Nan used to pick them out for me, and she would eat them. But now I love lima beans. So I'm gonna come up with some really delicious, simple recipes in the next couple weeks that use lima beans and dried beans. So if you are on your way to the grocery store this weekend, pick up some things of lima beans and some split green peas. I also have, of course, black beans. I keep on hand cannellini beans, which are great white beans or northern beans. I also keep garbanzo beans. Those are just in another bin down here. But you'll see what I love about this idea of having them in these little bins is that for me, I love taking the bin out, looking through it. It's a great way for me to assess what I have so I don't overbuy things, or I know what I have from the, this is my sweet bin. So I always keep Tate's Bake Shop cookies. Today I have chocolate chip. Actually, they're my favorite, Ryan's favorite too. But I always have bags of those. Salted caramel, I always keep jars of this on hand because this over a little bit of ice cream, a little bit of pound cake, just kind of helps to add that little extra fancy bit. If you're going to the store or you already have this in your pantry, sweetened condensed milk, pick this up because I have a recipe coming up next week that's going to use an entire can, 3-ingredient recipe that is dessert, and it's going to be delicious, and it's not ice cream. So, haha. But you'll see, I love these bins because I can just really keep pulling out whatever kind of bin I'm looking for. And I go, let's see. I have different jalapenos and different types of olives. Those are mostly for martinis. But again, this is kind of like the dry canned goods part of my pantry. I know a lot of you may have whole shelving units, and that's fantastic, but living in an apartment, you have to be a little bit flexible, we'll say. And then down underneath here, I also have just backstock of some ketchup, lots of breadcrumbs, things like that. So now I want to take you into the kitchen and show you my sweet pantry. So Ryan, why don't you grab...
And shout out to LJA.
LJA.
LJA loves your sweatshirt.
Thank you. So actually, you know what? Since this is all about now supporting small business more than ever, my sweatshirt is from a store called Current Vintage in Nantucket, Massachusetts. Beth is the owner of the store. It's a wonderful store. So check her out on Instagram. Check her out on her website. But thanks, Beth. Current Vintage, shout out. So how cool is this, you guys? So now Ryan has you coming with me into the kitchen. So I kind of think this is great. Are you sure, Ryan? Yeah. So what I love about the pantry, so now a majority of my food is out really in the living room because that's part of where I film and where the kitchen island is. And then here, this is kind of like my baking station. So I want to just give you a little peek of my baking station. And again, I have my baking station organized just like I did or I do with all of my other more savory products and canned products and shelf-stable products. So I have all my chocolates on kind of like one shelf. I always keep flour and sugar on hand, of course, and then I have backups behind it. So I know that as soon as this container, if it pushes all the way back, I know that I have to order something. Again, up top I have, so of course I have to show you because nobody believes me, but I really do have Aunt Jemima buttermilk pancake mix. Sometimes Ryan wants pancakes on the weekends and I am maybe not in the mood to make them, or I have no buttermilk. So buttermilk pancake mix is my my little secret. And then as far as this kind of shelf, I just have superfine sugar, powdered sugar, brown sugar, dark brown sugar. I always keep molasses. And then I really don't have a lot of extra things. I have some vanilla bean extract, some vanilla bean paste. I use cinnamon a lot. Super fine, fine sea salt. Herbs de Provence, if you are going out this weekend to do a little bit of pantry updating, grab yourself some herbs de Provence in your dried spice section. I don't use a lot of dried spices. My most two really are herbs de Provence and oregano. Herbs de Provence is my favorite dried spice blend. It's so delicious. I don't know if you can see inside, but see all the little lavender? So it has lavender and thyme and rosemary and all kinds of beautiful Provençal spices. And this is a secret to dressings onto vegetables, in bread. I even have a recipe on my website for dark chocolate truffles with herbs de Provence. So again, I don't have a lot of stuff because I don't just want to go and just fill up my cabinets with things that are just going to sit there. I really do use the same things over and over and over again, not only in my daily life, but also in my recipes. So, oh, and then Ryan wants me to point out. So Ryan leaves me love notes almost every day. And these are some of his love notes, which I think are so cute. And this is my grandmother's name, Nana. Her name was Rita. And I don't know, I always just like having little things. Since you're going on this little tour, look up here. So this is actually my nan's kitchen. This is the kitchen that I remember growing up in and learned how to cook in. And I actually took that photograph in 7th grade with a camera, with film, and I developed that photograph in photography class. And then this is this little sign, which I love, kitchen closed, this chick's had it. This was at my godmother's house, and I wanted this sign forever, and then one day it was in the mail, and I was so happy. So, right, back up a little bit, yeah. And then, so as far as salts, again, I think you should definitely have black peppercorns, and I use 3 different kinds of salts the most. I use a French fleur de sel, which, again, this is not, you don't have to have this on hand now, but if you're perusing online, if you maybe, you can go to different small businesses, they have their own blends of fleur de sel. I always use fleur de sel, but for the most part, you just want to have some, I use mostly coarse sea salt and fine sea salt. Fine sea salt I use for baking. Coarse sea salt I use for mostly like savory cooking. So again, I think this, and then dried spices, I really don't have a lot. They all fit into this little box, and a majority of them are things that, you know, ginger, turmeric, cayenne pepper, paprika, curry powder, bay leaves, really, really simple things. Again, I said I use oregano the most, and I always have crushed dried red pepper flakes because I like things a little bit spicy. Again, I'm showing you all of this because I think it's really important that more so than ever, you really do assess with what you cook, how you cook it, and what you're using. So I went through everything of mine and really pared down things that I thought I needed or things that I don't have. I gave some to neighbors. I shared them with some people in my building. So, but now I want to show you my little secret. So again, small apartment, but this is going to get loud. But here's my pegboard. Here's my refrigerator. And between it, I have this fabulous... So these are all like my bottles, extra olive oils, flavored oils, vinegars, things like that, back stock of things. I go through a lot of Dijon mustard, so I have a lot of mustard on hand at all times. Isn't this fantastic? I just love this entire thing. So again, this is, I keep everything out, and you know, when I say out, I keep everything visible because I feel like you're going to use what you can see. And I just think that's really important, especially now when grocery stores are, you know, a challenge. I think everybody is trying to, more so than ever, have their dollar stretch a little bit more. And it's really, for me, kind of like brought me back and like centered me with how I want to start thinking about what I have on hand, how much I have on hand. You know, I went to the grocery store today and I was going to buy some loaves of bread. And I thought, no, you know, I can make bread. So I'm going to leave the loaves of bread on the shelf for somebody that either doesn't have the time to make bread, doesn't know how to make bread, or that wouldn't naturally occur to them. So, you know, we have to take care of one another out there. I don't want this to get into like a PSA moment, but I definitely want you to think about your pantry, organize your pantry, and I hope that you kind of got some inspiration from this video on like items together. And what I love about that is over the next couple of weeks, and you know, who knows how long, I'm going to be posting a series of recipes online that are really using really everyday kitchen ingredients, everyday grocery store ingredients, very basic kitchen equipment. And I'm excited. I think this is going to be a wonderful time for all of us to connect together and hopefully inspire one another. And that's my gig for right now. So I hope you liked this video. If you have any questions about the video or want to know more of what I have on hand, you can leave comments right below. You can find me on Instagram, Mark J. Sievers. You can also email me, mark@marksievers.com. And until next time, my next video coming up is going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and I'm going to walk you through my freezer. So stay tuned. Go pour a glass of wine, make some decaffeinated herbal tea. It's a little late for me to drink caffeine. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.
LJA says love the bowls.
Love the bowls. Oh, thanks, LJA.
And so adorable, can't stand it.
Aw, thank you. That means a lot. I really appreciate all of the love coming from everybody. So thanks.
Give kisses.
Ryan wants me to give kisses to you or to the camera?
To me.
Oh, darling face.